As we become professionals or we increase our income and have more money than what we grew up with, we either overcorrect by having a scarcity mindset, or we overspend and put ourselves into debt. Hi, and welcome to Therapy Explained. My name is Deniss. I'm the therapist of color for people of color and your very own mental health cheerleader. I make videos about all things mental health because I believe that mental health information should be free and accessible to everyone. But most importantly, I believe in you. I believe that everybody has the capacity to learn how to manage their own mental health with the proper support. If you agree, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you want more videos on all things mental health, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Every video also comes with its own cheat sheet that I make available to you on Instagram, so make sure that you're following me there so that you can get access to it. Today's video is about financial trauma. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. So what is financial trauma? Financial trauma is our response to our finances. Whatever your experience was of your finances growing up in your family, that will shape your relationship to money and will show up as you get older and become responsible for your own finances. This is very common for people of color and people who come from BIPOC communities, but also for any peoples who come from low-income families. We don't have access to financial education and therefore financial literacy, and it is hard for us to find a healthy balance and healthy relationship with money. Oftentimes, we will either overcorrect by maintaining a scarcity mindset, which I will explain as we go on in this video, or by overspending and getting ourselves into debt. And again, it's hard for us to find this healthy balance with money. So let's talk about scarcity mindset. If we grew up in a home where it was hard for us to have food, shelter, or basic necessities because of money, this means that our relationship to money is in connection to anxiety about money. So we will oftentimes, even if we make enough money to make ends meet and to maybe even cover extra expenses, we still feel like we don't have enough money. We will save excessively, we will go without certain experiences or certain purchases because we are constantly feeling like we are in a state of scarcity. This can also be heightened by a sense of responsibility for our family members. Again, if we grew up in a low-income family, particularly in BIPOC communities, if we get an education or are able to develop or build a career for ourselves, we start to make more money than what we grew up with. Therefore, we start to feel more responsible for the rest of our family who may or may not have had the same opportunities or chances that we did. So even if we are making good money and are able to take care of ourselves, we're constantly feeling like, okay, now I have to also take care of my family. So again, that makes us feel like we don't have enough money, and there isn't enough money because we don't just have to take care of ourselves, we also have to take care of our family. Now, this can happen for us whether or not our family is actively asking us for money. We might have family members who are constantly hitting us up now that we have more money or make more money than we used to. But even if they don't, because as BIPOC communities commonly are, we come from a collective culture and we want to help our family. Family is extremely important. And then we're going to have a sense of responsibility over them. Now, on the other side of the coin is overspending. Again, this is a connection of anxiety to our money. We don't look at our bank account, we don't look at our credit card statements because they give us too much anxiety, particularly if we have student loans. We just want to ignore them because it gives us so much anxiety to even think about it. However, again, because we don't have any financial education or any financial literacy, we continue to overspend because we're completely ignoring our actual financial state. This can also come from, again, if we grew up low income and we didn't have our basic needs, or we weren't able to have like that nice bag or those nice shoes or that new phone growing up. Now that we have a job, whether or not we make significant money, we are going to say, well, now that I have some money, I want to have those things that I didn't get to have when I was younger. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to have nice things. And while that is okay, and we are absolutely deserving of having nice things, we want to learn how to do it responsibly. But this is the other side of that coin, of feeling like we now have money, want to spend it, and definitely will not be looking at our credit card or loan statements because it causes us way too much anxiety. We might also be experiencing this sense of responsibility over our family, and that might be another reason why we're overspending. If we're starting to make more money than we used to before, we're going to feel like, not only do I want to have nice things, but I also want to give my family nice things. I want to buy them the things that they're either asking me for or that I would like for them to have, and then that will lead to getting ourselves into debt. So, how do we manage this? As with everything, whatever is mentionable is manageable. So it helps to talk about it with a safe person or with a therapist, or even with yourself. Make sure to start that self-reflection. Look at your relationship with money and ask yourself, what was it like for me growing up as far as spending goes, or as far as financial health was for me growing up? And what does it look like for me now? How is it showing up for me? As you're watching this video, I'm wondering, which one stood out to you? Which one do you think is the one that describes you the most? The scarcity mindset or the overspending? Being honest with yourself is the start. We have to admit what's going on, and we have to look at what's going on before we can even learn to manage it. From there, I'm also going to encourage you to try to be mindful about the dialogue that you're having with yourself about your relationship to money. If you're realizing that you have financial trauma and that you fall into one of these two categories, it's okay. Try not to judge yourself for the behavior, but instead observe it and try to learn from it. Try to figure out what would be a healthy balance for you, where you're allowing yourself to have the nice things, to maybe even take care of your family in some ways, but not in ways in which give you too much anxiety or cause you to overspend. It is okay to find a balance for yourself. Next is boundaries. Having healthy boundaries is key, both with your family and with money. Once you've looked at your financial statements and looked at what your situation is, again, whether it's overspending or overcorrecting, start to set boundaries with money. What is that balance that feels good to me, but also with my family? Where can I start saying no, or perhaps where can I just start saying yes, but? Perhaps I can help you pay the rent, but not all of it. Or perhaps I can help you pay the rent this month, but not for the year. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Again, this is why self-reflection is so important, and why it is important for you to continue to maintain that authenticity in terms of your spending. And lastly, of course, one of the best places to start is by looking for help from a financial professional. I myself am not trained in this stuff and unfortunately cannot give you any advice as far as your money goes. But if you have the ability and access to it, please make sure that you do contact someone about finances. If you need extra help, make sure that you ask for it and that you get it. I will link down some spaces below that I find to be open, accepting, and inclusive of BIPOC communities. So that will hopefully get you started if you would like to. So let's review before we go. Remember that financial trauma, unfortunately, is common among BIPOC communities. It is shaped by our early on relationship to money and finances as children, and triggered now that we are responsible for our own finances. It can result in either overcorrecting or overspending. Whichever one of these it is that you're engaging in, it's okay. Remember to start challenging negative thoughts about yourself because of it. Reframe that internal dialogue, but definitely talk about it. Allow yourself to reflect on your spending habits, and then start to develop healthy boundaries with your money, but also with your family. And lastly, if you feel that you need additional help with finances, make sure that you're reaching out to the correct people to get that help. Again, I have included some resources for you down below. Remember that progress does require practice, so if you give any of these tips, tools, or ideas a try, please make sure to comment down below or on my Instagram to let me know. Remember that we are a community and constantly learning from each other, so if there is something that you have already done that has been helping you, please make sure to comment down below and let us learn from you. Your cheat sheet is already available to you on Instagram, so hop on over there to get access to it. But before you do, please make sure to give this video some love in whatever way feels good to you. Every like, comment, share, and subscription helps spread the word and access to free mental health information and education. And as always, it is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, I'm always cheering for you.